The Great Resignation. Sounds big and ominous, like it should be narrated by James Earl Jones or something. So why is everyone supposedly quitting their jobs now? What is the Great Resignation really? And what should you do before you actually quit? All of this coming up in today's video. I'm Kamara, Toffolo, resume writer, LinkedIn consultant, job search strategist, and LinkedIn top voice who helps established professionals dare to do work differently and land great fitting gigs. I post new job search videos every week, and my videos will equip you with some of the most valuable information to make your job search easier, because job searching shouldn't be this hard. So what is the Great Resignation anyway? It's a massive movement or trend of employees across multiple organizations, multiple industries, multiple sectors, multiple cities, and countries saying deuces to their employers and ducking out and quitting. 4 million Americans left their jobs in April 2021 alone. And according to Microsoft's 2021 Work Trend Index, 41% of employees are considering quitting. So what's making people peace out? A number of reasons, from seeking greater fulfillment in work and life, seeking overall improved employment conditions, and the like. The P word that I can't say on YouTube really encouraged employees to reevaluate their current roles and working conditions and really put employers and organizations under the microscope. And so the trend of resignations led to the term the Great Resignation, which in my mind really conjures images of hard times cabbage soup. But from what I've seen, there's a lot more hope than horror in the Great Resignation. So for purposes of rebranding, henceforth, I shall refer to the Great Resignation as the Big Quit. And the Big Quit, as it's been really hyped in headlines, is much more an employer problem than an employee problem. Employers are being forced to rethink how they engage their employees. According to Gallup, 48% of America's working population is actively engaged in job searching, or at the very least, watching for new opportunities. And this is an increase of P word that I can't say on YouTube, levels. So should you quit your job? To quit or not to quit? That is the question. So if everyone else is quitting their jobs right now, does that mean the timing is good for you to quit yours too? Quitting a job is an individual decision. No matter the era, you'll never hear me saying that quitting is a good idea simply because other people are doing it. You need to weigh the pros and cons of making any type of career move and make sure that the decision is right for you. So in an ideal scenario, before you quit your current job, you'd have another one lined up. But that's not always a possibility and not always a good idea, especially if your current role is negatively impacting your well-being or mental health. More on that in a recent video where I addressed how to address a mental health break employment gap on your resume. I've linked it in the description below. But for the rest of us, where we don't need to make the difficult decision to preserve our mental health by leaving our job without another one lined up, we're really going to want to approach the Big Quit methodically and strategically in order to mitigate risk. So before you do go ahead and quit your job, there are several steps that you'll want to take to set yourself up for success. First, you want to get clear on your target job. Before you do so much as fantasize what your life will look like after the big quit, you must identify what your target job is. Seriously, do it. Why am I so pushy about identifying what your target job is? It's because your target job literally informs everything about your job search. What you write in your resume, what you write in your cover letter, the stories that you share on your LinkedIn profile, the stories that you share during interviews, the networking conversations that you have. These are all informed and influenced by your target job. This step is a non-negotiable. For more information about how to proceed with identifying what your target job is, check out this video, which I've also linked in the description below. Next, once you're clear on what your target job is, you'll also want to get clear on what you've already accomplished in your career. While this is something we should always be tracking, you will want to take this opportunity to note down all the awesomeness you've accomplished across your career in a work wins file. A work wins file is simply a running document of all the great things that you've done. Things like the project you knocked out of the park, the client account you preserved, the process you streamlined and made more efficient, the operations you optimized, the colleague you mentored, the team you brought together. Anything and everything that you're proud of accomplishing on the job, make sure that you track it and note it down. These accomplishments will be the meat of your resume. After you've completed these 2 steps, and only after you've completed these 2 steps, will you be ready to write or rewrite your resume. It's only after you've completed these 2 steps that you're ready to write or rewrite your resume, because now you're going to be writing it through the lens of your target job and incorporating the accomplishments that you've already noted in your work wins file. Let's say that you're about to make a big career change. You'll definitely want to check out this video for career changes that I've noted in the description below. Maybe you are quitting your current role to target more remote work. Make sure to watch this video on getting remote jobs, which I've also linked in the description below. While most people are really geared towards updating their resume, I want you to be open to the idea of actually starting it over from scratch. Often actually, it's easier to start your resume over rather than trying to recycle or refresh something that you've been working on since college. Updating a resume can often feel like you're taking your old prom dress and altering it to fit current fashion trends. After a few alterations, that prom dress is gonna look a mess. Your old resume is no different. If you are making a career change, rewriting your resume from scratch is an absolute must. Going hand in hand with your resume is your LinkedIn profile. So you'll want to take this opportunity to level that up. While your resume and LinkedIn profile are 2 very different assets in your job search portfolio, they are both very important. Make sure that your LinkedIn profile is full and complete, that you're sharing stories about your career that help position you for your target direction, while also giving the reader a peek into the evolution of your career and how you came to where you are today. I have a whole playlist on how to make the most of your LinkedIn profile, and I've linked that playlist in the description below. Just like we should always be tracking our work wins, another thing that we should always be doing, whether we are job searching or not, is networking. But I know that life happens and networking isn't always at the top of everyone's list, and it's not at the top of my list always either. So start where you are. And when I advise you to get networking, I'm not talking about attending some stuffy wine and cheese with a stack of business cards. Do these even happen anymore? How do you hand over your business card from 6 feet away? I want you to make networking easy on yourself and something that you can, actually integrate into your life sustainably. So I always recommend starting in your own backyard with networking. Tap your alumni networks, tap your professional association networks. Talk to people who you know personally. Yes, even your Aunt Carol, because you don't know who she might know at her book club. More on networking in this video, which I've also linked in the description below. So now that you've taken the steps to prepare your job search assets, your resume and your LinkedIn profile, meet and network with the people who you need to know and network with, now is the time to be particularly strategic with your job search so that you can increase your chances of landing a role and can go ahead with the big quit. Make sure that you are both applying for jobs online while networking. Applying online and networking are not mutually exclusive job search tactics. Rather, they should really coexist in a sound job search strategy. You want to make sure that you're following up on your applications as well as thanking your interviewers and recruiters, and also following up on your interviews too. I have a whole video on how to write post-interview thank you messages, which is linked below, but you can also grab my post-interview thank you messages guide and templates, which is also linked in the description below. In addition to executing a sound job search strategy, I want to encourage you to really stay the course. It's easy to let the urgency of wanting to quit our current job get to us. Depending on your current career level, your job search could take anywhere from several weeks to several months. Just like I need to remind myself that my nutrition and exercise plan will lead to weight loss, you need to remind yourself that sticking to your job search strategy and plan will result in the gain of a new, great fitting role. The timing of the big quit may or may not be the right timing for you to quit your job. Don't cave to the, well, everybody is quitting, so why shouldn't I pressure. Quitting is an individual decision, even if millions of people are doing it. Also, remember, the big quit isn't the time to make big and drastic changes to your job search strategy. Quite the opposite. Be sure to be very targeted in your approach, as well as use tried and true job search strategy and job search tactics like I've described in today's video. And here's my cue for you. Does the big quit have you thinking about quitting? Are you thinking about a big career change or a change of scenery? I'd love to hear what's on your mind and what's on your horizon. As you know, I make a lot of videos, but I also make free guides to help you in your job search. If you'd like my free cover letter guide and checklist, or my free post-interview thank you messages, guide, and templates like I mentioned earlier, you can grab them and download them by signing up for them. The links are in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate you giving it a like. That really helps my channel grow and helps me help more people. And if you'd like to see more of this face in your feed, then make sure you click on my face over there to subscribe, turn on the bell to get notifications. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. The Big Quit.